How much money do I have? Not a lot, but... See, now that would be useful. But you'd then have to basically go with a much worse weapon. Oh god. Just waiting on Rift. Theory, this will never be of use because the things that are killing me aren't single strikes. They're hard, they're not single strikes, they're multiple attacks, so... Choo-choo. We have a choo-choo, apparently. Found on Mount Sand. Did alright. Not like the neighbors are going to complain.
Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective.
Verb.
Fix that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier.
Dig my hole, you build a wall.
Now then, I am going to turn off every single one. There's going to be something that comes up, and I'm not going to...
One day that one...
The Masons. We built the city strong. Now there's only two of us.
So he was a mason and a trigger.
City on a hill.
The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though.
Tears are gonna spill.
There's no reason for me to upgrade that. That'll just give me a technique.
The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over. The inspiration, a forge can fashion anything.
They built and rebuilt the massive rippling walls. Inflict maximum damage with a single shell. What the? useful. Not hard. Get enough money to get more money. You know, because.
The city, its riches nothing but fragments now.
Ravages. Conscious. Get to level 5. Okay.
The conscience. We haven't lost everything, long as we have that.
Took. The faith. Survive a trip to the who knows where with at least one.
The faith. Mother, this one's for you. Sometimes I want to ask him why I do any of this. But truth is, I don't want to know. You don't want to know what he did to that thing, but believe me, it works.
I have aimbots. Now this one technically is great, but because of how even the base of it works, it's tricky to use.
Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right? Boundless Bay used to be a weapons test and dry dock. Ain't never been this dry, though. Celandia's armada was a glorious sight, and our ship's mortars were unstoppable. At Boundless Bay, our Navy put those mortars through a rigorous inspection. Had to use squirts to simulate explosive impact on the surface of the sea.
Oh. Well, okay.
Choosing targets with those mortars was one of the trickiest parts. Galleon skippers needed to be patient, needed to fire at just the right times. Sounds like the kid's mortar's in tip-top shape. Too bad about the Armada, but at least one of those mortars survived.
Somehow ended up on a mountain.
The skippers delivered us from the motherland.
Oh, damn. Gives us a 35 base and an absurd amount of damage if it crits. Critical hits do 200 damage, right? They do 200 damage. This bumps it up to 350. Whereas this is 175. Theory, it means I could one-shot a lot of things.
Now the weight of the world's behind us every swing.
However, I prefer consistency over... Though that would be nice, not gonna lie. This one's not too hard, so we'll do it and get the vigil.
If you got a thing for heavy artillery, then I've got the place for you. A variety of modifications can be used to enhance the power of a mortar. If a galleon mortar couldn't squish enough squirts, it was simply replaced. You had to be crazy to want to swim in Boundless Bay.
Oh! consistently I'm getting... There.
You could almost see the fireworks over Boundless Bay. Good thing we got to that mortar before the beasts of the wild learned how to use it.
Imagine just like a pecker or something sitting on it and just like, okay, push down, fire. Alright, I'm going to confirm. Also, I'm going to go backwards and... Okay, time to use aimbots.
Kid decides to keep working his aim and footwork on the shingle.
Who needs aiming?
Best time to pick a new spot was when swapping magazines.
Oh, the pretty lights.
Master trappers got what they needed for a better hunt.
And I will need that later.
The trappers would have been impressed with how the kid handled the shingle.
I need to... What? But... I thought I just completed it. The fuck? Well...
Expert trappers got something extra to give them an edge.
Didn't I already pick this up? Question mark? I'm very confused. No, it just gave me an extra one. Okay, game. Whatever you say. Oh, I just didn't pick up all the prizes because I'm a fucking moron. Okay, that's fair enough. Scrapyard.
Kid pays another visit to the scrapyard for old time's sake. worked too slow, all you got was a sore back. Work in the yard did have its risks. Some folks invested their earnings to forge even better hammers. Had to work real fast for the finest prize. Always plenty there for smashing.
Time do I need? Okay, shaves 3 seconds off it somehow. Honestly, I should just restart from that. How do I optimize my movements from here?
Strongest, fastest folks earn more than their fair share.
Okay, I did it.
The kids worked the yard before, but that time it just plain destroyed it. The dynasty, to the families of the city, all reunited.
Birthright meant little in Ceylondia, a city which for achievement. A techocracy. Alright. Forward. Into the absurd.
The secret to how we built Ceylondia so tall and proud lies in Bastion Quarry.
Now, Rift, pay attention.
Imagine everything you'd need to build a city like Ceylondia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes Bastion Quarry. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. The quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see are nesting in those rocks. But there was even more to it than that. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things.
Just wreck them.
They're recording everything, all the time, taking it all in. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Keeping the quarry free from pests turned out to be a problem. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. Even stink eyes started taking root in here.
What's a damage resistance?
Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground. Might be the quarry just got too much sunshine for their liking. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores. A single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. The smaller ones, we call them shards. Shard's got a fraction of a core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland. Well, now the quarry's all dried up. These rocks are much too young to be of use. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive thing stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of him.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
The only thing harder than the rocks in Burstone Quarry is Sir Lunky's head. We never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says.
I just two-shot the boss. I give no fucks. Ooh, and a something coarse. I need that.
It's him. "I've come to warn you," he says.
Why he left the Bastion. What happened back there between you and Rux?
The Bastion is under siege. Let it fall. You should not go back. Kid hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred. "If that's the way it is," he says, "then I won't stop you." Because my countrymen will.
To war.
Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Zulf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge. They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. I should have told him sooner about all this. Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their holes. Something wrong sprung out of those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop them, but we needed help.
There's the last one.
Our baby pecker, he don't make it.
God damn it.
Somehow, some way, he sends those packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zolf's plan worked.
Damn it, I'd hope not to lose anyone. I should have just spammed as much as I could.
We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the Calamity. It was Caelondia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zolf knew the whole story. What were we to think? They must have got her, taken her back to her rightful home.
Yeah, the problem is I can't, like, reload it. That's why I turned off all of the gods. They can just, those guys could just eat through people easily.
The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection. Now all we need is one last shard. Ain't that the finest breaker's bow you ever seen? The Mercy. The windbags ain't the only beast that drew a bad lot. The Sanctuary. If we can build, we can rebuild.
Also, boo on games ever been. Don't mess with my basic system. And
The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way. Urzendra Gate used to lead down to the terminals. Now it leads up to the stars.
the problem is that with those guys, they teleport, so...
One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand.
Day 1, morning.
Zolf said the Calamity failed, and he's right. The Ura stand as living proof of that. At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. Wanted to rule it out. We put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from one of our people.
Dodge that.
It came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals will be gone.
Fool.
This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort.
Oh, so I just realized I didn't put any of my Pantheon back on.
But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own.
Is that a giant hand? It looks it. Ow.
You sabotaged the Mancer's little science project. Set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Van must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard.
Okay.
It's too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. For now, Kid had little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off. First things first, though. There's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already.
Also, I forget how I unlock these. I think it's New Game Plus? Question mark? Alright, let's go get fucked. Oh. That's a thought.
Now we're looking at some serious firepower.
Ways to double their musket firepower. These cripple. That cripple is powerful. Eventually I will use that.
The country. She's all to pieces now, but still looking good. With the bow and repeater at the ready, Kid aims to keep a safe distance.
Let's hope that I have not made a bad choice.
There's something we had to do before going after that last shard.
Hang on. I'm gonna restart the stream here. and we will go for one more round, and then I am going to call it. Because likely we will finish the game by then.